Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bar. I'm virtually beside Savvy Wavy One to help you guys get through these chilly months. How are you doing in the not chilly weather that you're currently in?
You outed me.
I did.
I'm doing fantastic. Just living my little best life back in 80 degrees. But hey, I was born and raised in Seattle, so I completely understand the cold weather. Actually, because I mean, you live in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's not actually cold weather
No.
until I moved away. And then I heard about, like the Midwest, East Coast. Makes sense.
I mean, like the seasons. You get a bit of a season. You know of a cold weather, but as a Canadian, I moved to Vancouver to move to the tropical area of Canada. Like, it's so easy for me here. I'm like, and then I go back to my family in Edmonton and they're like, we just got 30 inches of snow. So it's still cold compared to most of the world, but it's very temperate in the scheme of things.
Absolutely.
But
what's your first hot take? I want to hear it.
My first hot take is just more of a confession I have. It's what goes through my mind. And I'm like, am I the bad person? Because I think I am. But my why can't I say that? Why can't I say it today?
Security?
Yeah, security complex going through airplane security. And I'm sorry because I have it to a system. Because I know people are stressed. I know they don't know what's going on, but they take so much time. And I'm like, I want people to look at me and be like, that girl knows how to get through an airport. Because I was like, I want to take out everything and boom, 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 organize. I want the person in the security line to go, you've done this before. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I got a system. That's what I want. And I'm like, bang on as fast as possible. And that's what's going through my mind every time. And I'm like, I'm the bad one. I'm the one that everyone else is like eye rolled, like, oh, we get it. You travel. And I'm fully aware of that. But I just had to get that off my chest because it's a badge of honor I wear with minimal pride.
You are a pick-me girl at an airport.
I am.
That's what you are.
I am. And I'm fully aware of it. Because like I said, I'm like, where's my applause? Every time I'm like, did no one see that system? No one ever notices. So if you're someone who's stressed, they're taking too much time, don't, because no one notices. Like, I'm as effective as possible. And I've actually once been like, oh, I see, you know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, it's all good. I got it. One time. I'm on a flight every second week. One time someone's noticed.
A subtle flex for you. Weird flex, but flex for Keltie.
I guess. You know what? It's less of a flex and more like, if you're stressed, don't be. Like I said, no one notices.
True.
No one notices at all. I put in so much work to it.
Trying to do it themselves.
Exactly. So if you're like, oh, the person beside me, no one notices. You're fine. Just go. You're good. No one notices.
Okay, I love it. Well, with my hot take, it's in the same realm. And that is, I just think traveling during the holidays suck. Like,
the worst.
I get it. And like, it drives me nuts because Michael and I don't live near any of our family. So if we want to see them, someone's got to budge. Someone's got to travel. And this year, it's us in Thanksgiving. And I'm really worried because there's always flight delays. There's always some obnoxious, like crazy person. It's just like, it's packed and I avoid it like the plague. Did I ever say that? Wow. Deja vu. But that's my hot take. And we travel with our dog and it's just like, it drives me nuts.
It's the disaster because first, a lot of people who travel during the holidays don't travel consistently, so they're scared, they're nervous, they're stressed. Everyone's scared about missing a single day. Like, come the summer, if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world, but like, you could miss Christmas if you miss a day of travel. So like, the level of stress people have, and it's not fun. That's the least jolly part of the holidays. As someone who has to travel to 2 locations, once again, not trying to flex, it's just the peak. Even I get anxious and I travel to, I'm through the roof anxiety entire time during the holidays. So I feel for anyone.
Definitely. Do you have any other hot takes?
I don't. You know what? I'm jet lagged. I'm hot taked out. I was like, I'd rather not stir the boat. That was my one.
I have one.
Please do.
I have another
because I'm out. I want to hear it.
Okay. It's on my house. Yes, I have bought a house and made it my entire personality. Bite me. Yep. But I have told you guys I painted my office. I act as if I did a full renovation and I'm well aware. I act as if I am, what is it? Magnolia people?
Oh, that I haven't heard.
Magnolias? I don't know. Whoever's on TLC and like they have a million cooking shows and Renos and things. No, I just painted one single wall. But I found it extremely relaxing and therapeutic. And I would paint my friends' houses just for it to be relaxing. That's my hot take. Cause like do it yourself. There's something rewarding about it. And like I literally FaceTimed my sister-in-law for 4 hours and did it. And I was like, I got good company. It just was a good time. It was like, I don't know. I love a task you don't have to put much thought into.
That sparked a hot take I have and about painting. First of all,
What?
love it. Therapeutic. I had an aha moment that it took me, I don't know, 25 years to put together. And I had no idea that my mother has been gaslighting me. So I walk into Chapters to buy The Creative Act. It's a book I wanted. I was like, let's browse around the paintings. I want a painting or some kind of form of art. And I see this specific painting, this Matisse or however you say it. It's these like naked people walking around this chair. We have one hanging in our loft. My mom has been telling me my whole life that my grandpa painted that because he was a painter. So I would always come in and be, oh, these are all the paintings my grandpa has. No idea that it's a dupe of some like iconic, famous, like equivalent to Picasso painting that everyone knows about. And me just, I don't, it probably wasn't embarrassing up till like 18, but my whole life I've spent thinking my grandpa painted this. It's just like a screenshot. And my mom's been lying to me the entire time. So I family group chat. I was like, you've been lying to me. I thought grandpa painted this. It's just casually hanging in indigo. So
I love that. She was just like, how can I fuck with these kids? I'm going to tell him he's a famous painter.
And this is not the first time she said like this. Like, it's always like harmless little things that she knows in like 20 years is going to haunt me that I've been telling everyone. Because my grandpa is a good painting. Like I painter and he did it. So I have a bunch of them. But like, that was embarrassing that I was like, oh, look. People come to the house, oh, this is the beautiful painting my grandpa did. And some of the adults are probably like, this kid is full of shit.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I used to have a picture of my grandma, and she was like in a play. I've never met my grandma. She passed away when my dad was like 20. And so I didn't know her personality. I would just see the single photo, and she had a tiara on. And I was like, really young, and I'd be like, is she a princess? And they'd be like, yeah. Like they'd just be fucking with me.
Love it.
I told all the kids that came to my house that I was secretly a royal, I was a princess as well, because my grandma was a princess, and I'd show them the photo to prove it. And yeah, and I honestly went with it. I think I just committed to the lie as well, but no, it was a play. That's what I learned.
Honestly, keep it going. From now on, you're a princess. I believe it.
Thank you.
I was like, you come from royalty. No one has to ask what royalty. Just like, I come from royalty.
A princess? Me? Yeah. Shut up. Yeah.
Perfect. But on that note, the opposite of princess, seasonal depression. Let's jump into it. So I live in the gloomiest place on earth, potentially. You've lived in Seattle. No sunshine. I've also lived in places that are freezing cold. Edmonton. Now I currently live in a place that gets no sunshine, freezing cold, Sundsville, Sweden. And you know what is the worst thing about seasonal depression? It just zaps up any energy you have to get to the gym. Like you have zero energy. You're cozy on the couch. It's dark out. You don't want to drive to the gym. You don't want to get up early. You don't want to go after the gym. There's like no energy, no motivation. And today we're here to help you. Just give you 10 little hacks you can do when the winter sucks your soul dry and you don't want to get to the gym. Do you want to hit us with the first one?
Sure. As a girl that lives in 85, and all I'm going to say is if you're debating on moving somewhere warmer, do it. Okay? Just do it. My dad didn't want to leave Seattle. He complained, he kicked and screamed and threw a hissy fit when they moved to Arizona for my mom or my stepmom's job. Now the guy golfs almost every day. He's the pool boy. He works at his gym. And I'm like, you just were too scared to leave for like 45 years.
So what you're saying is tip number 1 is move. I love it.
Yeah, sorry. I got sidetracked.
No, I know, but I like it. It's like end of podcast. Tip 1, move. End podcast.
You didn't hype it up. You literally made it sound horrible. So I was like, well, I'm just saying, guys, there's an option. If I can inspire anybody to move.
I like it.
Move.
I take it.
Okay, my first tip, when I did live somewhere chilly and cold, was I am one of those people that actually love winter attire. And it sounds maybe a little lame, but it's for maybe my girlies that like the little style, the fashion, is get little statement pieces that like dress up your outfit. Like I would invest in a really nice vest that was like practical, warm, and also cute. And like I just feel like I get more dressed up in the winter because I like the sweaters. I like the layers, and like I don't feel as insecure about like if I'm wearing a crop top or something. Like I just naturally feel weird if I'm wearing a tank top, right? Like it's just a rite of passage as a woman somehow. And like, yeah, I would just say staple piece for me was I would always treat myself to something really nice for winter attire.
I like it. I like it. My first tip, and you've heard this 100 times, but I got to say it with a little difference with it. Morning hot girl walk. You need to get that sunlight. It is such a game changer because I think it's so hard. But even if, like, sometimes I'll skip the gym and just get outside and have the sun, and I have so much more energy that I'm more likely to even go to the gym after. And it doesn't have to be long. You can just be a little walk around the block, just up and down. Or I get this all the time. You're like, Keltie, it's 8 a.m. and it's still dark out. Like I get to the office at 9. Same here. But what I always do is there's usually 5 minutes you can sneak away in the morning. Like you get to the office, you start things between meetings, like, oh, just got, and I know it's easier said than done, but I do that. Like I'll get to the office, still dark. And after my first hour, I'll just like sneak outside, grab a coffee somewhere, just like a little, it doesn't have to be a long time. Even a minute makes such a difference.
Okay, I love it. My next one is very on theme with my first one. And it's very unlike me because I'm a slob. So if you're a slobby girly like me, is I don't know why winter times I like to be more put together. And I think it's because like whenever I'm visiting family in the cold or even like just growing up going to college there, I would put more effort into like doing my skincare, my makeup, my hair, because like I'm not sweating. So like my hair's not going to deflate from the curls. Like there's something very hallmarky about a sweater and a beanie and like a cute little curl. And I don't know, it's my time to shine was when like winter comes about. That's when I actually will do like a cute full face of makeup because like I'm not sweating it off in the heat. Like, I don't know. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you get a bit more dressed up or like put on more of an effort? And also it helps me because then like if I do it, I'll get out, I'll go. Like when I was in college, if I got ready for the day, I wouldn't stay in and like skip class. I'd be like, okay, well, fresh face on, someone's got to see it.
Exactly. I do. Because I feel the best part about summer is the effortlessness that you can do no makeup, just walk out on like a sundress and feel kind of dressed up and you're sweating. So like, it's almost no point to put on makeup because it's going to go everywhere. Your hair is going to get staticky. So it's kind of like, I think we're sick of the effortlessness and it's so much funner, at least for me, like there's more outfits in the wintertime.
Yes.
You can do layers and something about your makeup will stay and something about big glam fits the big sweaters and sequency and New Year's and holiday parties. So I think it's just like, I like that and for the embracing. It's fun to get dressed up and then it's fun to not have to get dressed up in the summer.
Totally. I mean, even an example, 4th of July party. I literally showed up, nothing on. What's up, guys? Then I went to a Friendsgiving at the same person that hosted it. I looked like a little businesswoman. I had my hair curled. I had my makeup done. I put some blush on. I felt snazzy. I just like those outfits, the neutrals that go with winter.
Oh, I love it. I love it. My second one, sunshine lamp. You can get them cheap on Amazon. And there's like, to actually get one that has like the vitamin D and all that, it's a lot of money, but there's some that are really cheap. And I have one in Sweden and I just put it in the corner and it just makes the room feel lighter. So regardless, I find if it's too in the middle of the day, dark and gloomy, I do kind of like, is it bedtime? At least like I'm subconsciously, I'm like, this is the middle of the day. So even if you can't get a sunshine lamp, I just find during the day, just blast lights, even if they're artificial. I think it's just like a signal to me that I'm like, it's not 3 p.m. because otherwise I leave the office at 5 thinking it's been 5 p.m. for the last 5 hours. And then I have zero energy to get to the gym because I'm just going to go home to go to bed. So the sunshine lamps or just a really bright ass lights, either one.
Did you know that like not a lot of people know about the sunshine lamps? Like when I moved away from Seattle and I moved to California, people were like, what the hell is that? Like they didn't know that was a common thing. and like all of our
Yeah.
teachers in our schools had them. And during their work
Yeah.
time, because I was always a TA, like every year I'd TA for somebody.
Yeah.
And they would always have those lamps, and you would turn it on, and you have about an hour a day. Like maybe you're working, doing something, you just turn them on. Super normal. Everyone has them in Seattle because you don't see the light of day. It's Forks. It's Twilight Zone there. But yeah, everybody was like, what the hell is that? And they thought it was like a funny thing that places that are cold and don't see a lot of sun have that. They thought I was weird.
It's one of those classic examples that it's just like such a way of life in a different place that everyone else is like, what? Like remote car starters? I didn't realize that isn't like something everyone wants. But why'd you need a remote car starter in California? Aside from maybe those. But then I remember there's a lot of Canadians that go hang out in Arizona. And one time my mom's friend drove down there and she used the remote car starter to start the AC. And her friend who was from Arizona was like mind blown by this technology. But I was like, no, it's even like cheap cars have it in Canada. Otherwise, you got to run out in the cold. But like you said, it's such a remote car starter. But whew, that's peak.
That sounds Canadian. Like a luxury. I've never had that.
Some cars have it, and once you have it, it's the best. But that's a great Christmas present. Christmas present.
You can like buy a remote for your car?
Yeah, you can have like, you don't have to have it. Like that's like a lot of like cheap old cars can have a remote car starter because you can get it put in. So it's
that's neat.
The fancy expensive cars are going to have it, but even you can get it put in. So there's a little Christmas present idea for some people in your life that are Canadian.
Cute. Okay. Perfect. Well, my next one is 'tis the season for the fun drinks. And what I mean by that is like, who doesn't like a hot, warm drink? Okay. I don't care if you don't like coffee. You can have a tea. You can have a hot chocolate. You could just have warm water with lemon. That was like my grandma's favorite thing. Always. But like, there's something about it where you're like, you're cold to the bone and maybe you've just gone for a walk and you get something warm. It's so different and nice. And like, it could even go hand in hand with your hot girl walk because it's super cold. Have a little hand warmer. I don't know. It's like, I think the winter is when you spend maybe more money on the fun drinks because why the hell not? If it's cold and dark and gloomy, you got to have a little Christmas cup in your hand.
Oh, it just suddenly makes it a vibe. You know, it's no longer miserable. Like, ooh, this is so much better. Like, chili soups.
And it's sugar half the time. I mean, we love sugar.
Gets me through the day.
It really does.
True.
I'll forever be your sugar troll.
Oh, please do. Keep me accountable because one day a doctor is going to be like, Keltie? And I'll be like, yeah, the time has come. And then you need to remind me, stop. But I also say that as no one in my family has ever stopped consuming sugar. So
as he's like, I imagine you're at the doctor. You have your purse with you. He's like, Keltie, you give it up. Give it up. And you're just like, it's like that movie where you're like slowly handing him packets of candy. Yep. And he's like, there's more. And there's one in your bra. There's more. There's one in your sock. Until you it's Miss Congeniality when she hides the donuts.
That will be me. That will be me.
Love.
Okay, my third one. Diffusers to refresh the room. Now, do I believe in the essential oils in it? I don't know. But scent is so linked to memory. Like it's usually when you're losing your memory and it's actually the first thing to go is your smell. So like that's why I like chocolate chip cookie and all that. But I find diffusers are so nice to like refresh a room because that for me is like I feel peak lack of motivation when I've been in the same room. It's kind of sweaty, musky. I feel a little gross. It's been warm in there because you've been just toasty all day. And if I get pine smells because it smells like a Christmas tree and it just whenever I'm feeling like, I just put it on and it just feels like it freshens up the room. It's like air coming in. And that just gives me a little boost of motivation. Do I think it's the essential oils giving me this boost? No, but it just smells cleaner and refreshed. And that helps me because when I feel like a bum and just like I'm just, rolling around in my own dirt all day, I don't want to go to the gym. But when I feel like fresh and good, then I want to go.
I agree. Sadly, I went to freshen up my office yesterday, picking up little Sunday cleanup, and I have this gorgeous, like, orange smelly spray that one of my friends that has dogs told me about, and it like helps with dog odor, and I just love the smell. It smells like oranges. And I forgot we had an ant like problem in our back, and I put white balsamic into the orange container because it had a sprayer.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot. Been months. I went and I sprayed my freaking room, and I sprayed everywhere. Bentley's chilling near me. He's like, the heck? He gets up, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the waft of orange.
Yeah.
And all I get is just like burning in my eyes, balsamic, white. Yeah. And then it dawned on me. I was like, did it go bad? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, it was my ant killer. It was my white balsamic vinegar. Or not even balsamic. I think it's just white vinegar.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't know what that,
Don't know the
makes
difference.
sense. I don't know. White vinegar makes sense.
So don't diffuse white vinegar.
I mean,
unless
you
you want
freshened it up a little.
Salt
maybe.
and vinegar chips. It did make me think of something that I would like to eat.
Good memory. See, memory. It's always associated with memory. Smell.
Okay, my next tip is embrace this as a time to do something fun and unique with your friends. There are countless people that complain about the weather and how they can't go outside. I totally get that. But this could be a time for you to like maybe pick up a new hobby. When I was living in Seattle, my friends and I would always try and find something fun during the day. We'd rock climb at the REI in Seattle, or maybe we'd do like pottery where you like paint the pottery and they blast it for you. Just like doing fun indoor things and just trying a new hobby with them. Or like this is a prime time to do gym dates. Like my friend and I, because we couldn't go for a walk because it was so rainy or something like that, we would like both get a membership to like 24-hour fitness, and we'd have a nice little gym date where we'd play volleyball maybe on the court, and then like we'd go for a walk on the treadmill and just like hang out, catch up. Life doesn't need to stop just because you can't go outside.
I like that. Now, mine's kind of the opposite of us because mine's exactly stepping outside. And here's a little hack I have, and it sounds crazy, but it works so well. If you've been here, I had a music lesson at 4 p.m. last week, and I've been in the office last few hours, and I just felt like, I had zero energy. I didn't want to do this. I was kind of exhausted. I was like, and I knew I had to be creative and learning for 2 hours. So what I did is we have a balcony that's outside. I just opened it, stood out, and I was just in like shorts and a tank top and just stood out there for 30 seconds. And yeah, I can have a cold shower and all that, but I'm like, that's not worth the effort. I was like, and just that zap of like energy just like wakes you up so much. So I like, there's just a little hack if you're having that like little lethargic feeling. You have to be underdressed because you go outside fully dressed. It doesn't really work the same, but just go outside with whatever you're wearing, 10 seconds even. Just get outside and it'll be like, boom. And it's just like an instant reset. And I find that just gives a little energy to keep going.
I love that. A nice little cold blast to your face.
Exactly. Easier than a cold shower. Because I was like, do we really need to do cold showers in the middle of winter? We got enough cold. I'm
True.
like, I can't be bothered.
True. Okay, my last one is in the winter, would work more. So what I mean, it may not be the, most fun, but if you are somebody that is interested in maybe picking up a hobby, working on your body, maybe like, starting this business avenue that you've always wanted to, getting a certification, do it during the winter when like you're already inside, you've got the time. I get that it gets dark early, so a lot of people like want to sleep, watch Netflix. Instead of starting Netflix at 5 p.m. because it's dark, wait till the normal time of 9 p.m., 8 p.m., and like use those 3 hours to work on something that's like good for you. I think a lot of people sleep on that where they're like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm lethargic, I don't want to do anything because it's winter. Where I'm like, this could be like secretly, you could be getting ahead of everybody. You could really focus on yourself, and then you come out swinging in the summer and they're like, oh shit, this girl glowed up in her career or glowed up whatever.
I like it. And I'm going to hit the last one, which is something I'm working on. And it didn't even occur to me it could be an option until I saw this TikTok. So I'm a sunshine baby. I love the sun. If it's sunny, I want to be outside every day. So I get hit with major seasonal depression. Like I lose all motivation. I'm sad. I'm upset till one day there's a sunny day and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just a plant. I just hadn't seen the sun. But I saw this TikTok and it was about people moving to Scandinavia. Now, similar to Canada, really dark, especially up north. And my boyfriend sent it to me. And it was like things you start doing when you move to Scandinavia. And it was listing off all these things I won't. But the last one was like, you start loving the dark. And these two guys are going off about how much they love the darkness and all that. I was like, oh, that didn't even occur to me that you could like the dark more than the sun. Like in my mind, sun good, dark bad. Just like black and white. As soon as it's dark out, I'm sad. It's just like a light switch was in my mind. I was like, this winter I'm working on like embracing it, being like, oh, I'm someone that likes the dark. Whether it be like, I think at nighttime before I go to the club, it's dark out, it's moody, lights are coming on. Whether it be like I wear all black and it's just kind of that chic, sultry kind of vibes. And so I'm just like, whether it be how I dress or just looking at the lights outside. But now I'm like, I'm someone that likes the dark, and it's just a little perspective. And I was like, just embracing that sultry, feminine, you know what I mean, kind of vibes. And that's what I've been doing.
So you're saying you want to be a vampire?
Yes, I am now. I've gone to the dark side.
I've gone to, no pun intended.
So yeah, that's my new one.
All right, I love it. Well, that's our 10 tips for our girlies that are sad for winter. And you know, there are some people that thrive during winter. I actually have a friend that like lived in California, moved away from Seattle, lived in California, came back because she like likes the gloom, likes the cold. My best friend Kayla loves it. Lived in Arizona, came back. She's like, I thrive in this weather. It's just different strokes for different folks.
And I'm trying to be one of those people because I'm not. So I'm like, I've become that person. I'm lying to myself, the placebo effect on myself, just telling myself I am now someone that likes the dark, gloomy months.
You go, Glen Coco.
Thank you. Do you want to hit us with the first confession session?
Yes. Okay. There is no context to this, and I have so many questions. But somebody said, I peed in a cup under a table and placed it on the table after. LOL.
Now I know this person. I know they work for
You do?
a very reputable company. And this is at work. So I'm like, I have so many questions because I was like, are you at the office? But then I was like, oh, I saw she was packing things. So like maybe she's in office alone. She couldn't get anywhere. There's a cup. It was like an emergency. It was that or nothing. Like I was like, is this your call for help? Are you okay? Like, have they been overworking you? I know it's Q4, but I'm like, this is next level. I have so many questions, but I'm like, that I just know context. Very reputable company.
Wow. And you always like the most unhinged things come from your friends. I've noticed this. And it cracks me up because I'll be like, you know this person. And Keltie will be like, oh, that's a funny one. And I'm like, wow, props to your friends for supporting us.
Right? I
Giving
love
us
them.
good content.
I was like, it's just another day. All my friends unhinged. And that's why I love them. Because I myself am. You know what? That's
love.
Just how we are.
Absolutely. What's your confession session?
I was working at a bar and a man offered me $50 for my chewing gum in my mouth. And to this day, my only regret is laughing at him and not actually accepting the request. And I don't blame you. Like, do you know, like when something really odd happens, you're not smart, like you're just on the moment. It's not that you're smart enough. You're just not reactive. So you're just kind of like, haha, whatever. And then you reflect, like, wait, I don't need this gum. Have it. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like selling socks. People, I think that's the most lucrative business. Selling your old socks. Every day you get new socks. You never have to rewear them. You never have to wash them. You just ship them off and make money. I was like, that is the best return on investment I ever heard. Now my chewing gum, if a man would just, I mean, I'm in the wrong career. That is a great return on investment. So I don't blame her for regretting it because I regret it for her. I'm like, if only I got $50 every time I spit out my gum, I'd be rich.
Here's my question though. What was he going to do with the gum?
Honestly, men probably chew it. He's like, I'll never make out with her. She's too pretty, but maybe I can share her gum.
That's disgusting.
I do.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard some really weird stories, like from friends of friends that have worked at like those weird bikini barista stands that I'm like, girl, honestly, it's a blessing in disguise because who knows what that man would have done with your gum.
You never know. But I do think most of the time, if I'm a betting woman, it's a man that a bet. You know what I mean? I think most of the time it's their friends be like, bet you $50 to go do that. And that's how it happens. I feel usually it
Absolutely
is that.
not. That's so optimistic of you to say for the creepy men out there.
There's a lot of creepy men, but I do think there's a lot. If it's like just an average guy at the bar, not a creepy old man coming in, I was like, I feel a lot of the time those things are bets. Not always. I'm not going to defend all bet. I feel a lot of the time. If you look in the corner, as someone who's a bartender, the amount of times someone would say something, you look in the corner and there's 5 guys staring, and I'm like, I know what this is. I know what this is. I was
and
like,
this is why people idolize the Green River Killer and Ted Bundy. They looked normal. And they weren't.
True.
Zac Efron did play Ted Bundy. Just saying. I did watch it for that.
You can't judge a book by its cover, that's for sure. But I can judge a guy who has 5 of his best friends behind, and then you just waiting, and then I'm like, and then you just go along with it. I was like, as long as you're splitting whatever you're getting paid for this bet, it's on.
That's true. There's like this trend on TikTok that's like, have you seen it? It's like this girl named Susie, and she's like, call me crazy, but I have only made my own pesto or something. I've never made my own pesto. Have you seen this?
I haven't been on TikTok this week. I took a breather from it.
This going on for a month, girl.
I also probably haven't been on a month. I've consumed 0 social media from just pure time stance. Like I haven't had time. So
well, there's this funny trend, and they basically will like stitch themselves with the Susie girl who thinks it's crazy that she has never made her own pesto, which is obviously not crazy. So that's the joke in itself. And then they go on and tell an even crazier story. And my TikTok is full of this because I obviously like this kind of content. And I listen to all the stories, and it's all these stories about how like girls have like dodged a killer or like dodged a crazy murderer, stalker. Fascinating.
Crazy. The world is crazy.
Maybe that's what my brain's going through right now.
That's why I was like, my mind wasn't going straight killer. My mind was going Betty Man. I think see, algorithm. It influences our thoughts.
Absolutely.
Okay. Shall we finish off with a question from the audience?
Yes, ask away.
So, I've been weightlifting for a few years now with PTs and following workout programs. But soon I'd like to drift away from those and create my own program/schedule. But I have no idea about it. I feel like you both are knowledgeable. How do I know this if I don't know my own shit? Any advice? So just kind of, someone has been following a program. Do you have any tips of like, they're like, I don't want to follow a program. I just kind of want to go to the gym on my own.
Well, it sounds like she has been educated by, like she did all the right things in actually getting help and getting, PTs and things like that. I would recommend, so she's just asking how to build her own workout plan, essentially?
Kind of just drift away and start creating her own and utilizing other people's lefts.
I say just dibble dabble with it. That's what I did. I literally started researching on YouTube how to build a split. Like there are people that will break this down for you. And then you can apply it to your life. You can apply it, like you can test run it. You could do, say a 5-day split for like a month or 2. If you don't like it, switch it. That's the best part about creating your own workout plan, right? I'm somebody that likes 3 days of upper body and 2 days of legs, like leg focused workouts. And I strictly lift 5 days a week. So we're like, some people, they like 3, they like 4, it just depends. So I feel like you get to know what you like. Also look into like, what are your goals and like what will be beneficial for me. I do a lot of high intensity training. I feel like I have a lot of energy, so it helps me sleep better. Also helps me with like my physique goals overall with my certain types of trainings that I like. So that's kind of how I started building my own workout plans. What would you say?
One, I would say without just saying research others, because I think half your research is asking us. So I think one option, definitely go on YouTube. Andrew Huberman has a whole podcast series about it that you listen to those two. He will write down exactly what you want because it depends. Do you want to do 2? Do you want to do 3? Do you want to 5 times a week? Do you want to do a push-pull? Do you want to do different body types, body parts? But one tip I'd say just to start off, you already have that plan. You already feel comfortable. Just swap out exercises. So kind of be like, oh, this is a squat. Instead of doing a barbell squat, maybe I will do a dumbbell squat, or, whether it be this is training my hamstrings, we can do different. So just start to get comfortable, see what actually made up that workout plan you've been following, and just try swapping the exercises, moving some things around. And then that will kind of teach you the mindset that person used. And then as you educate yourself more on different exercises and what they are engaging in the form, that's kind of just a nice, simple way to start.
Yeah, I like it.
And one last question. Do you want to hit us off with?
You ask. I don't have it pulled up.
Low calorie alcoholic drinks that are almost as cheap as beer. Do we have any? I was like, right off the bat, cheap as beer. There's so many seltzers, I feel now, which are kind of the same on. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive. Also, I feel the best bang for your buck is going to be a cheap vodka, gin, tequila, soda, lime. Like I don't think it was much cheaper than that. Or what about you?
I was going to say that. I'd also, if you're looking for more affordable, plan your happy hours, girlfriend. Plan out the bars. Sometimes they have ladies' nights. I remember when I lived in Miami, they had a ladies' night. Everything was free.
Yep.
But yeah, vodka soda, lime, super easy to just do that. Seltzers, like you said. Like, yeah, I don't know what's as cheap as beer because I don't drink beer, but that's usually what I do.
Here's also another hack. I don't know if this is all rumor, but it works. Kirkland brand alcohols are the best like bang for your buck for hard alcohol. So like there was always that rumor that Kirkland vodka is made at the same place as Grey Goose. I don't know if that's true, but it actually, I feel we've blind taste tested it many times and you can't really tell the difference. And so I think economically, if you get a big 2 liter of soda water, you get a bunch of limes or lime juice or maybe a little orange juice. You buy that big Kirkland thing of vodka to make drinks before you go out. I feel it would be expensive at the start, maybe it's like 40 or $50, but those things are giant and they're going to last you a long time. So there's another hack.
And key is the mixer. If you, I can't tell the difference really in alcohol. So it's like, I literally am always saying the house alcohol, the Wells, whatever. And that's usually the cheapest.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, cool. Well, with that being said, we're going to bid you farewell. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to write a review, hopefully 5 stars. Shoot us a DM of confession sessions, or if you have any questions for us that you want to answer, need advice on, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.